Good morning. What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2018 Innovation Award winner. Oh, that was a little bit, there we go. Because I'm doing the producing today. Usually I'm a producer, but the producer's not here today, so bear with me. So 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads and fathers. It's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that team, reached out directly and indirectly to over 400,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And you're at the home of Epic Conversations, the Dr. Vibe show, the Morning Vibe. Good morning, Ryan Oneil Knight. How are you today?
I'm doing fantastic. How always good.
Look at that haircut. What?
As we
wow.
We had to make sure and be proper for the symposium that was on Saturday.
We're gonna get into that. Yes. Wow. How are things going this morning? Have you had any rest?
Yeah, got to decompress yesterday, Sunday, and hang out with the family and just chill out. So that was great. But for those that may not know who I am, my name is Ryan Knight, one of the co-founders of the Afro Caribbean Business Network. We work with entrepreneurs of African and Caribbean heritage, really to figure out what stage the business is in, then help them create a strategy to grow their companies exponentially. And I'm an entrepreneur myself. I run a company called Detailing Nights. So we provide mobile waterless car cleaning. So we go to people's houses or their offices, clean their cars on the spot without using water, and our plant-based eco-friendly cleaning supplies. And we are excited that spring has somewhat stuck. Like winter is over. So
temperature's going back down, man. Temperature's going back down.
Yeah, it's a wild up and down. I think it's going to go to 2 and then back to 13. So we shall see.
Absolutely. I don't know what we could do today. I know there's a whole bunch we could talk about the symposium. Do you want to talk about that now after the break? How do you want to roll this day? Plus, we don't have a friend on today, so if anyone has any subjects they want to bring to the plate, actually, there's a number of ones I have always in my alleged mind. So how do you want to roll this today?
Yeah, I mean, hot topics. We can discuss things that are happening in the news and do an update on how the symposium went. Okay. And of course, thank you for being there and being able to get Dr. George Fraser there. And
we're going to talk about that. I think that alone we need to talk after the break.
Yes.
My experience with Dr. George. Topics. Well, we're a few days away from 47's announcement. He's calling it Independence Day of Tariffs.
Yeah, like I think it's a Renaissance as well, or Independence.
Renaissance, something like whatever.
Yeah, this is now the time for the U.S. to be free, or just it's redemption.
As they're slowly going into a recession.
Hey, it's trending the wrong way. So the next step after recession is a depression, and if they don't stop this trend of the stock market still kind of jumping down.
Yeah. The stock market is taking a beating. It's taking a beating.
And it's interesting because I know Wayne Harris talks about, buying the dip, and it's a time that people that have resources can get things on the cheap. But most people don't have those resources to be talking about buying the dip. So, and a lot of their investments are...
You talk about buying dip. I think if you put in $5 a day, even during the dip, but a lot of people can't afford that.
Yeah, and that takes a bit of planning. Like that takes consistency to say you're gonna be putting in this amount of money every day. So yeah, unless you're planning that, when dips happen, you're not gonna be able to really take advantage. And now if your money that's taken off your paycheck is automatically invested into something like the CPP, so the Canada Pension Fund, those things are beholden to the stock market. So now the stock market is dropping, your nest egg is dropping as well. So, and a lot, remember, now is the time that the most people in history will be retiring. All the baby boomers are retiring now. So it's not like they have time to wait for the market to correct itself. If this many people are retiring and needing to live off the pension, they're getting sometimes half of what they thought was going to be in there. So it'll be rough if this is prolonged.
Well, it's interesting. Look who pops up in the comments. Wayne Harris. Good morning, gents.
Hey.
How was the weekend? We're going to get to that after because there's a whole lot of stuff. And Wayne Harris is going to be on this Friday. And we'll talk about that after the break. Also, he has a number of different conversation topics. Actually, are you going to be around on Friday? Because I know you always got a crazy schedule.
Yeah, I know I'm dropping the kids in the morning, but I'll try and pop in.
Okay. Actually, I may bring in a co-host, another co-host on Friday too.
Cool.
We will do that. We'll do that. Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh well. Hey, you're a baseball fan.
Yes.
So
yes.
your Blue Jays split 2 against the Orioles this weekend.
Yeah, we'll take it. The home opener was rough, but
rough. Wow.
And then the controversy of the fan getting kicked out because he was wearing the Canada Not For Sale hat and refused to take it off.
I didn't hear about that.
So he decided that he didn't want to take it off because there's a policy at the stadium where you can't wear politically charged hats or anything that has wording on it that's politically charged.
You're kidding me.
So they considered the Canada Not For Sale a political statement. So they said, hey, you have to either take it off, turn it backwards, or leave. He didn't want to turn it backwards. He didn't want to leave. So, no, he didn't want to take it off. So they said, sir, you got to leave. So it became a news story. And now, so they've apologized. The Blue Jays team said, the staff said, we made a mistake. It shouldn't have kicked him out. So they did offer him tickets to come back. And then, so now he's going to the game with the gentleman that sells the hats. So Canada Not For Sale, this guy's cleaning up because he's like getting all this publicity. They're actually going to the game together. So
do you have any predictions for the Blue Jays this year?
I can see around 500. I don't see them. The team's not built to go on win streaks. So I can see them putting a couple wins together here and there, but losing about as much as they win as they figure out what their long-term strategy is going to be. Because Guerrero, I was going to say Vladimir Guerrero, but it's his son. He is now this last year with the team. So now he's going to be, he said he's not signing. So he didn't sign an extension with Toronto. So now who are we building around? So we have to really, Bo Bichette is still, I would say, the anchor, but I don't see the strength in the pitching staff, starters and relievers. So the year is not going to be, I wouldn't see us making the playoffs. If we sneak into how they have the wild card format now, it's always a possibility, but that would be kind of the stretch goal.
Max Scherzer already injured.
He's getting his thumbs messed up. It's making him pull his oblique, and he was supposed to be stepping into, I would say, the at least a 1 or 2 spot. So he's injured. Yeah,
he's already injured. Rough. But when it comes to baseball, all roads lead through Los Angeles.
Hey, valid, and the Yankees on our side. So
was it in their first or second game? They hit 9 home runs.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I don't know if it's their first game or second game. They hit 9 home runs.
Yeah, the LA Dodgers are definitely stacked.
Yeah, and in one of the Yankees games, the first 3 batters on their first pitch hit a home run.
Oh snap! I didn't even see that.
Back to back. So 3 pitches, 3 home runs, right first part of the game.
That could not have ever been done before. That sounds like the first time ever. That's 100%.
100% writing in. What else do we got? What else has been going on? Are you paying any attention to the election yet?
Absolutely. So it's an interesting election because it's so short. So for those that might not be following Canadian politics, so the federal government has called an early election after Mark Carney became the prime minister when Justin Trudeau stepped down, and they did the leadership race. So now The election ends April 28th. So I think that's a Monday. So voting is on April 28th. And it's been like a mad sprint. But what I'm more interested in is liberals that initially said they weren't going to run again. And now that there's been a change in power, they said, you know what? I am going to step back in and run. So I know Anita Anand, she initially said she wasn't running. The gentleman that was the housing minister, I have to check his name.
Yeah, who resigned?
And said he had to spend time with his family. And it
Family.
was
Yeah,
a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
big
yeah, yeah,
thing. Now
yeah.
he's like, you know what? I think I will step back in and run again. So that I think would also make conservatives nervous because there was a departure. There was people that were like, I am not. Mark Holland, who's the MP in Ajax, he decided not to run. He was the Minister of Education. No, sorry, Minister of Health. So now those people were anchors for the liberals. And so the ones that said they weren't going to run and now step back in are going to be a challenge for the conservatives.
Incumbents. Yeah.
But there was somebody interesting that I didn't know was a big liberal that is running. So you know how Marcy Ian said she isn't going to run.
Yeah.
Did you see who decided to replace her?
No.
So Evan Solomon, who was like a big media guy, pundit, talking about politics. I saw a post that he's running in Toronto Center. I was like, what? I didn't know he was a liberal like that. So that's gonna. I thought might have been able to sneak
actually,
in
you know, speaking of that, we should try to get Marcy in on the show.
Yeah, she should have some extra time on her hands. That would be amazing. Yeah.
What would be her next move?
Yeah, there was a gentleman that came on our show before, Rob Davis. That's very hands-on with politics. He'd be a good person to give us.
We should reach out to him again. But so if anyone has any access to Marcy Ian, I know someone who does, but I'm gonna see if I can. I'm actually gonna send her a video message DM via Instagram to see if she come on the show. That would be
so cool to hear.
You know,
her experience.
You know, it'd be so cool to have periodically pundits like her give their political commentary over the next 30 days, like maybe once a week, or even get a Perry Douglas. That'd be good. All right, let's take a break because we may never get to a break as the way we're going on already. We got lots of things to chat about, but when we come back, we're going to do a deep dive into something called the ACBN Symposium that happened this weekend, which Ryan starred in. So we'll be back in 30 seconds. Black Men Can Talk, a show where Black Canadian men come together to have real unfiltered conversations about life, culture, and community.
There is that weight that is put on Black men in order to show their worth.
But I think our children are now in a space, in a place where they are doing better. You know, as somebody who works with young people.
And in a lot of cases, a lot of the impact that they've seen happens after they're gone.
There you go. Black Men Can Talk on Monday nights, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I had another great conversation last night with a gentleman named Eddie, who has a ScarPod studio and also is a creator who does a lot of technical stuff for outdoor events. Really, really, really good we only got halfway through. Even last week too, I had a conversation with a gentleman named Larnell Lewis, who's been a long time drummer actually the Juno Awards are last night, and he was nominated for a second Juno. We had a great conversation last week. Absolutely phenomenal. So a few things. First things first, since there are some people in the house, just like to say, hey, if you're watching on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel, please type in your comment section what city and what country you're watching from, and then we'll put you up on the global map.
Oh,
cool. On the global map. All right. So if you're watching live on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel, put in city and country you're watching from, and we can put you on the world map. All right. Some other quick things. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. We are now at a clean 1,750 subscribers. So the next leap is 1,760 subscribers. So if you feel up to it, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube. We'd appreciate that. Also follow the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe at the dr.vibeshow.com to advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms that I'm a part of. Again, email dr.vibe at the dr.vibeshow.com. Actually, speaking about Discord, I've started a Discord group for the Black Men Can Talk community. So a number of Black men are starting to go in that. Can't forget Dr. Tachi, who has her Indie Soup Media channel, which has, is it 25,000 subscribers in less than a year?
Amazing. Love it.
Also, can't forget Ryan Oneil Knight. I always say it's not with an N, it's a KN.
Yes,
Ryan Oneil Knight. LinkedIn, Ryan Oneil Knight. Instagram at ryan.knight99, and email workwithme, ryan.oneilknight.com. And as I said a little bit earlier, yes, coming up on this Friday show, Wayne Harris will be talking. I have messed that up. He says, still have to talk about the Canadian election. Yes, we do. Yeah, federal election, interest rates, debt, investing, home buying, and car buying. All right.
And it would be interesting to hear Wayne Harris's take on the Conservatives and the Liberals both announced their tax cuts for middle class. So breaking that down.
Yes, yes, very good. Very good. Very good. So we're all okay. Okay, so we don't have to put up. So we're going to put up the map for just a second. We got some people on the map here, so I'm going to just do a screen share. We got some North American.
While you're pulling it up, I'm curious to hear what would be the most unique place anyone's ever tuned in from watching your show. Because I was doing a live on YouTube, and somebody said they were tuning in from Turkey. I was like, how is it possible the algorithm got to Turkey? So I was curious what's been unique.
Well, with using this software, the farthest so far I've had is Japan.
Oh, amazing. That's so cool.
All right. So we've got people from North America. So we got some Mississauga. We've got some Jacksonville, Florida in the house this morning. So continue if you just want to type in. And a good morning, Ray McMillan. Okay. So why don't we start off with that? We're going to do a recap of the ACBN Awards Symposium. Break it down.
Well, I'll say real quickly, part of the symposium was us announcing our Legacy Milestone Award. So we are going to be honoring people that are being consistent and persistent with their businesses. So as they hit different milestones of being in business for 5 years or 15 years or 25 years, we want to give them some spotlight and give them their flowers. So the first award that we gave was to Ray McMillan, who was a co-founder of ACBN, and I don't believe we would be where we are at today without his guidance, without his support. Our first meetings were at his office. Our actual head office is still his office. So thank you, Ray, for that. So
wow, he's been at that same location?
Yes. And when he tells a story of how the gentleman that was the accountant was able to support him as he was building up, and he did the same thing for us. And it just, we were thinking, how do we honor this gentleman in a way that is memorable? And we said, let's put together, we actually created the awards around wanting to honor Ray. So he's going to be, I'll say a staple. We might name it after him. I haven't thought of it. But the Ray McMillan Legacy Milestone Award. Ooh, that'd be cool. So he was the first recipient.
He's watching right now, so that's really taking it back. What?
And so I had to get his son, Stephen, who is in the process of taking over the business, Ray McMillan Mortgages. And so Ray is typically out of the country at this time because it is not like great weather. So he's like,
he don't like this weather.
The symposium needs to be in the summer if I'm gonna come back. So we were joking around about that. But yeah, Stephen let him know. It's like, this would be a good one to be at. And Ray said to me, I'm gonna try and make it. So he was able to make it in person, and we got to surprise him as the first award winner.
I talked with him. He said, I didn't know this was going on. I didn't know. And it was also, and it's funny enough, I thought I had met his son Stefan before, but I didn't. And the first time I met Ray was at his office, but now I was going, no, Stefan was, no, it was a Saturday and didn't expect, but it was really, had a great conversation. And two, if you're not, please follow Ray on Instagram, and they do bi-weekly conversations. And correct me if I'm wrong, Ray, is it 10 o'clock bi-weekly to do money in the morning conversations on YouTube? Check them out. Really good stuff.
100%. Yes.
So what? So you caught Ray off guard.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And then, hey, if people saw the agenda, it was not on the agenda. So it was totally a surprise. Yeah.
You are kidding me.
And shout out to Corey Ford, who was the person that helped us design the award and build it for us. So he's from On the Corner. They do promotional materials, but they also do awards. But beyond that celebration of Ray, we were able to, Charmaine Hussey, who is
the first lady of
coordinator of ACBN and all things, flew back in from New Brunswick to be there in person. She had been coordinating this thing virtually. I would say it is the smoothest, most impactful symposium that we've ever had. Every single person I talked to just raved about how the event flowed and how like the content, but being able to meet other entrepreneurs. They're just like, this is the type of event that we want to be at more often. So we have to think of how to get entrepreneurs together more often, but being able to, like, I was the MC, so coordinating, I would say, the timing and introducing people. We had Sheridan College, their president, Janet Morrison, do the opening address. Dr. Jury, who is the dean of the Pelon School of Business, he was in the building and was able to stay and interact with a lot of entrepreneurs. We had a great amount of student volunteers that were also studying business and different elements of business. So being able to be there, interact with entrepreneurs, take notes, give feedback, it was great. And we had a greeting from Minister Valdez. Right now, Richie Valdez, was the Minister of Small Business, so the Black Entrepreneur Program was under her portfolio, and now they're back on the campaign trail, so it was difficult for her to come in person, but she did send her regrets and her greetings. So all that led up to Brian Scudamore being able to Zoom in. Wasn't able to be in person, but we got him on the screen. And what I loved about the conversation is that entrepreneurs were able to ask him questions directly, and he was really forthcoming with being able to answer questions about, if you had to start all over again, what would you do? How important is branding, and why, when you're building a franchise, is branding so important? Talking about how to the impact that they're having in the communities. And the gentleman was asking about like the youth that they work with, how do they encourage them to be entrepreneurs? And I asked him about that mentality that you have to have when you're now going from 0 to 1 franchise, going from 1 to 10, and then 10 to now they're over 1,000, but how your mindset shifts. And another great question that came from the audience, I think it was Kemba Williams, was talking about like the culture and finding key people. We feel it's so difficult to find those that believe in our mission, will fight for our mission. But yeah, being really purposeful about how you're hiring. And he told a story of how he had to pretty much fire everybody at one point because he realized the culture and the staff he had wasn't going to be the culture and staff that could take the company, I'd say, beyond and where you want to get to next. And so realizing like who's around you and what key people you need, and having to say, you know what, I have to go in another direction. I could only imagine like my heart, and getting to meet him, I know that couldn't have been easy, but yeah, that conversation was really great. And also then having Carla Leon and Lynn Ferguson have their fireside chat as well, talking about Just Like Family and their franchise that they've built. And now with Lynn being the franchise development lead, the president, it takes a lot of effort to now come into something new and be able to run it. So Just Like Families built this system where even we at ACBN, we were able to buy into one of the territories. And again, I know nothing about healthcare. My wife is a nurse, so I ask her some questions sometimes, but being able to own a business that the machine works. And if you hire the right people, it'll work. That is the essence of franchising. And that's why we want to get more of our entrepreneurs to see that concept so that they know, okay, if I build the system for my business right, we are going to be able to duplicate this thing and it'll work for whoever plugs into it. And I think that theme really came through. And then it was hit home with Melissa Cadigan, who is a franchise consultant. And she's actually the one helping me with detailing nights, coordinating how to make sure that the business in a box works that you can give to another person, all the systems, processes, all that is documented. But she was able to walk through all those elements of your business that should be rock solid with their systems. So yeah, that was kind of we missed the speed dating. So not the speed dating, but the speed networking, where we had 10 facilitators. So each facilitator was at a table and being able to then talk about their expertise and how they can support businesses. And I know typically, Dr. Vibe, you'd be there as a facilitator, but you were on your own mission.
I was chaperoning to make sure everything was tight.
Yes.
So everything was tight. But I did take part as one of your judges.
Yes.
For your pitch competition. So I had double, triple duty at times at this thing. Like, I think Ryan, other than First Lady and Ryan, I was wearing more hats than I had to. Well, before we go any further, some more comments. Let's go. So, good morning, JJ Mars. Good to see you. He says, good Monday morning. Also, we have C Nurse K says, morning all. Congrats, Mr. McMillan, on your award. Yes, Charmaine did a phenomenal job. Congrats. Okay, my producer, you're way off. So click that off. Let me handle these ones. So C Nurse K says, morning all. Congrats, Mr. McMillan, on your award. Yes, Charmaine did a phenomenal job. Congrats. C Nurse K says, I learned a lot attending the symposium. Fitness IQ Cam says, morning, gentlemen. Good stuff. And she also says the speed. Okay. And she says the speed table was amazing. Excellent. All right. Now, again, if anyone is watching live on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel, please, if you're up to it, type in what city and what country you're watching from and hit enter. We'll show you on the world map. All right, so we're caught up on our comments. All right, had a little bit of hiccup there. I've told my producer, listen to me, don't anticipate, listen. All right, what else do you have to share about the symposium, or do you want me to
I want to do my best to remember the facilitators. So we had Shirley Joseph, who's the founder of Black Canadian Content Creators. Patrick Cole, who's the founder of M. Kutano, and he got to show a video platform that they built. I got to stop. We forgot something. Comment from Ray McMillan. McMillan Group. You got me all emotional here now, Ryan. I was indeed pleasantly surprised. Thank you. Love the design of the award. I already have a spot in my office for it. We'll mount it shortly. So detailing ACBN is hit. Jacksonville, Florida. Nice. Oh, is Ray left town already? He's back in Jacksonville?
Ray left 3:00 in the morning, Sunday morning.
Yes, he's really not about the call. So that we appreciate. I'm telling you, we wouldn't be where we are today if we did not meet this gentleman, and the insight and being able to call him and just talk about life and how the operations are going. Yeah, it's something that everybody needs in their life, is a mentor that is there when you need them. You know, like being able to connect with Ray has been life-changing, not just for the organization, but for myself personally.
I will say the same, that every time I talk with Ray, I'm better. Just like Wayne Harris. As I just thought about over the last week, I've created my own little board of directors. So I've corrected my board of directors includes, and that may not know it, but they are in it. Ray, Wayne Harris, Roger Dundas, and one or two other people are part of my board of directors. Right.
Awesome. And so I was checking on, see if I can find some of the facilitators' names. So yes, also Nikisha Moody, who's the CEO of NMCD Inc. Jillian Cordas, the founder and partner of Nexus Labor Relation Consultants. Ryan Singh was there as a facilitator, a producer and director. Camille Smith, CEO of Fitness IQ Services. And Fatima Gold, speaker, coach, and author, and one of the mentors for Sheridan Edge's Rise program. And Christopher Lawrence, marketing and branding consultant at Frequency Event Promotions. Of course, Dr. Vibe was slated to be one of the facilitators until I sent him on a mission. So thank you, sir.
We'll talk about that mission.
That's why I want to hear about it. And, Karen Rowe was also there. And Nicola Harris. So thank you to all those that were, and also Colin Grimmond, he stepped in. He's from Swobin out in Hamilton, Windsor area. So he came in for the event and stepped in as a facilitator as well.
All right. So, and Shirley has put it up here. Shirley is our producer. They say, let us know which city you're watching from if you're on the YouTube channel, and put it in the chat, the city and country. All right. And Fitness IQ goes Ray. And Wayne Harris goes, congratulations to the Godfather. Thanks for the big ups, Doctor. Hey, right back at you. No, you're part of my you're part of my board of directors. And Ray says, Macmillan Group says, love that concept, Dr. Vibe, board of directors. Please make sure your wife is already on that board. She will many times have the final say. Okay.
Yes.
Godfather speaks.
Yes.
When the Godfather speaks, he lays it down. All right. No, it was I didn't know I'd be judging on the pitch competition, but I really enjoyed it. And the funny thing is, all the contestants were Black women.
I did not even recognize that.
I said all the contestants are Black women. I'm going, where are our Black men in regards to pitching? We'll have to lean in on that next year. But so it was good, and so it did run seamless, because by 6 o'clock everyone's gone. Most stuff was gone. There were stragglers around till the end, like that. But yeah, it was. From what I was involved in, it ran really smooth, and you had more than enough volunteers.
Yes, and that's again shout out to Sheridan. It was great because one, they were helping us coordinate the event, but also I made sure, and when I talked to them, to be present with the event and pay attention so that you can give feedback to entrepreneurs that you're going to connect to. Because what we want to see in the future is being able to partner entrepreneurs with teams of students from Sheridan College. So that can be one of the first team members that they hire. So now this is a great time to entrepreneurs get to meet them. So it's not that you're just meeting from scratch at a job fair. It's like, no, you're actually interacting, getting to talk. And then if you're studying office admin or HR or marketing, now you're going to have a step up because you've already met an entrepreneur that then wants to hire that position. You're going to have a step up from your classmates. So yeah. And the students, when we talked, we had a breakout room at the actual Edge office to say, what would be helpful with your student journey? And they talked about, hey, if we're going to have more, or could we have more of these events so that we can meet more of these entrepreneurs and then get support with, so if they're studying HR or wanting to look for a job, could we support them, resume writing, how to interview, how to meet, make first impressions, and then we can make those connections to entrepreneurs. So some great ideas coming from the students.
Wonderful. Hey, good morning. GR Houston Jack says, good morning, Dr. Vibe and Ryan. So good to have you, GR Houston Jack. Do something for me if you can. You are watching live on the Dr. Vibe Show YouTube channel. Put in the comments section, city and country you're watching from. We want to show the world map. We got a few more entries we want to get up there, but yeah, it was a really good thing. And let me ask you something about your event. You purposely keep it to a low total. Is that done deliberately?
It is. And so one of the challenges, we put out a challenge to the audience because we want to see how people progress from symposium to symposium. So we have about 60 entrepreneurs that I would say are there, and then the rest are speakers. So there's 80 business owners in the room, but now it's to say, okay, how do we track and support people that attend? So we said, would you be willing to meet on a monthly basis? We're going to call it the Symposium Mastermind. So
yes.
Now and next year, we'll meet monthly to see, okay, how is your business actually going? What supports do you need? And we want to see that growth between now and next year. So if everybody comes to this monthly check-in, I told them tickets, I will pay for their ticket for next year. So there might not be any tickets available if everybody signs up. So getting a ticket to the symposium is going to be exclusive thing, because we want to actually work with them long term.
It's a high value ticket.
Yes. And members of ACBN. So if you're a paid member, you actually get a free ticket to the symposium. So another reason to sign up for our membership.
Nice way to have a full house.
And that was I think the first time the house was full before 10 o'clock.
Whoa.
And we were worried about the weather because it was going to be
freezing rain.
But usually, it gets full kind of afternoon, so people waltz in while lunch is happening. But I do want to thank everybody that took the time to be there early so that we could get started on time. Yeah, my heart is full just looking out into the room and seeing a full house and being able to provide value to those that attended.
So GR Houston Jack says, that's cool, Ryan.
Yeah.
That's cool, Ryan. Like that. Yeah. Laugh that. That is good. All right. And you know what? Ask, because if you don't ask, you don't get. So I just want to show. Thank you, GR. I asked you to put her location on the screen, and it is on there you go. She's actually watching from Arlington, Texas, where it is 51 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about probably 10 degrees Celsius.
That seems chilly for Texas.
Yeah. So thank you so much for putting in there. And we've got a North American audience today. It was great to see your whole family there.
Yeah, so my wife got to come share, and also Christian and Jasmine, my son and daughter. So Christian's 9, Jasmine's 12. So, come and just experience. And I heard that Christian was actually participating in some of the table conversations.
Excuse me.
So Christopher Lawrence was like, when I was at the table, Christian was answering some questions. So yeah, good to see them getting involved. And Jasmine got to talk a little bit about her book. So Jazz and Dad started a lemonade stand. So yeah, I got to get them in the mix,
Yeah, it's even though they are back, but it's for still in-person events. It's still for a lot of people a foreign thing because we went so long without in-person events. Like there was Yvonne Clark.
Yes. Yeah.
What's her relationship with ACBN? She was I haven't seen Yvonne Clark for it's gotta be 10 years.
Wow. Yeah.
And she said, you recognize me. I went, oh wow. You haven't changed. I go, what am I still ugly? She says, no, you're still handsome.
Yeah.
But how is her involvement with ACBN?
So I really want to thank her for taking time out of her day to volunteer with us. But she actually, I met through Patrick Cole, who is founder of M. Catano, because her running a nonprofit, and I think she has either over 100 or like 900 volunteers and students that work with her. So being able to coordinate that, she actually wants to start to teach that to nonprofits. So we were working together to say, hey, could we do info sessions about this? And how would we be able to get this capacity building information to nonprofits that are struggling to have 1, 2, and 3 volunteers? So that's how we initially met. And then, go ahead.
No, finish.
Yeah,
Finish
and
up,
so
finish up.
beyond that, I was telling her about the event that we were doing, and she said, and I was asking her, we would love to get some guidance because as you said, we had a full house of volunteers. So we were looking, okay, could you give us some guidance on how to structure being able to have this many volunteers and making sure that they're utilized effectively? So she was willing and able to come in person as well.
Yeah, it's and she runs a big organization.
Yes, and that's what we have to learn from a
Well,
person that knows how to build
actually,
that.
someone like her should
Mm.
meet Craig, who came on a week ago today, talk about not charities and not for profit.
Very true. Yes.
Someone like her should reach out to him in
Yeah.
regards to that. So I'll be sending her a message today and just chat and just send a message and say, hey, there's someone I think if you have 11 minutes of your time, you would benefit from meeting him. Because what I got, she got about 3 or 4 different charities going at the same time. And she told me she's leaving for Nunavut for 2 weeks.
Yeah, and she's doing like these retreat training things for cities.
I'm going, Mike, you're you're a charity not for profit. I say, I'm going to mind. You hope you're getting a lot of income in, because these days it's challenging, especially for charities and not for profit, especially Black run not for profit. So I'm going to definitely reach out to her and say what's going up. Fitness IQ says going to aim to be there, and on. I don't know what ONN means, but I think again
on time. I think
time next year. Yeah, she's going to be on time. That's an offline story. Fitness IQ. I heard we had a little joke in regards to that.
Yes.
She had a little joke in regards to it. So just want to go back to our map. I love people who are putting where they're coming from or signing in from. So we got C Nurse K from Ajax, Ontario, where it's 48.3 degrees Fahrenheit, a little bit about 9 Celsius. So thank you, everybody, for the interaction. Love it. That's fantastic. All right. What other stuff? Yeah, it was great to see a number of people hanging out. I didn't have a chance to eat the food, but I'm sure the food was good.
Yeah, I mean, it was a hit and miss. There was a couple misses. I think the ackee and saltfish, definitely have to let them know. Leave that to Selwyn from the Art of Catering. But the jerk chicken was good. The chickpeas and squash was really good. So yeah, we've been hearing
hit and miss. All right.
Yeah, some was good, some could use some improvement.
C Nurse K says the fireside chat with Brian Scudamore was great. He gave a lot of great advice. He also acknowledged all the great work Ryan has been doing. As Fitness IQ Cam would do. Yes. I'm sorry I missed it, but and like I said, everything seemed to run really smooth.
Yeah.
Oh, Katrina Gould, is it? You know what? I'm forgetting. Hold on. I got to get the name right because I know. Got to get it right here. Ms. Gould.
Oh, Fatima?
Fatima, yeah, she's been chiming in. I think sometimes on this show and sometimes on my Black Men Can Talk show. It was good to meet her face to face, and I'm going to get her to come on the show in the near future. She said, "I'd love to be on the show."
Gotcha.
We're going to have Fatima Gould doing it too. And everything, yeah, and yeah, the weather was a bit of concern, but we didn't get any freezing rain. But it was raining pretty heavy on the way home.
Yeah, it got heavy, but luckily it was still like 1-2 degrees. So if that started to freeze, that would have been brutal.
Yeah, well, yesterday I was hanging out with a couple. They live, I guess, outside of Oshawa. I guess it was about a 45-minute drive northeast from Oshawa. They lost their power 8 o'clock yesterday morning. And she said when they're driving from Peterborough area, there were branches of trees along the road.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, look, I know. I think north and further east of Toronto,
they got hit
more.
And even today, it's still like a dull, dreary day, but the temperatures are dropping. So Fitness IQ goes, Fatima, bam.
Yes.
And she also says, as soon as me got to DVP, she got hit with rain, and then she says, lost power. You lost power also?
Oh no!
Come on! Oh no! That's not good. That's not good.
But yes, as we're leading up to our keynote, before we talk about the actual keynote by Dr. George Fraser, would love to hear about the interaction and the ride and the conversation
Oh,
that you were having initially.
well, so let's a little backstory. So last year, Brian asked me to pick up Dr. George Fraser, and I said, amazing. So went downtown, picked him up. I had an intern with me, had a camera, and we had it's about a 30 to 45-minute drive to Sheridan College. And he recorded the whole thing. I said, yes. Turned out he sent me the video files. For some reason, there was no audio.
Oh no!
And I'm going, oh my goodness.
How's this
And
possible?
and the thing is, I've lost track of that intern. Like, I've reached out to him, hasn't been around. I can't find him. I said, all right, this ain't happening this year.
Right.
All right. So Ryan says, Friday night before 8:00, can you pick up Dr. George? Said, absolutely. He's staying in Mississauga. It was only it was a 15-minute drive from Sheridan College, which is
nice.
great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say right now, good morning, Dr. Tachi. Good morning, all to Dr. Tachi. Fantastic. All right, getting back to the story. So go out there, get to the front desk, say, oh, I'm here to pick up Dr. George Fraser. Oh, what's your name? Dr. Vibe. The guy looks at me. Really? Really? I said, yeah. He goes, yeah. So he calls up to Dr. George Fraser's room. She comes down in about 10, 15 minutes. I said, Dr. George, we got a little bit of time because you're not speaking till 5:00. Can I get a favor from you? He says, yeah, I'd like us to do a conversation together. He says, yeah. So the restaurant was closed, but I went over there and started taking chairs off the table. They're going, oh, what are you doing? What you doing? He says, I'd like to do an interview. He goes, no problem. They cleaned out the place, etc.
Oh, nice.
And then, because if you're a content creator, you want to document things. On my iPad Pro, did a 30-minute conversation with Dr. George Fraser.
Nice.
Brought my lapel mics because sound, when you're using these things, or your cell phone, if you're counting on the microphone on these things, they're not the greatest. Not the greatest.
Exactly.
So we mic'd them up, put them at a table, put my iPad in a nice, good place, and then started the conversation. We chatted for about half an hour. Finished it, took a quick look. I said, beautiful. Looks amazing. I'm going to be working on it the next day or two. And I'll probably on Friday I'll show snippets from it.
Nice.
Amazing conversation, because people may not know Dr. George Fraser and I go back a minimum till 2010. Minimum. Minimum. And that's how I started the conversation. Dr. George, I gave him a little bit of blessing as an elder. And I said, like, we met first in 2010. What's gotten better and what hasn't gotten better?
Interesting.
For Black people. So he went in on that. Okay. Dr. Tati says, good deal. Also says, DS is here. Hey, DS Food Plane, what is going on? Thank you for being around for all the he was part of the conversation last night with Black Men Can Talk. And Eddie, the gentleman we had on, who does tech for events, even outdoor events too. DS has a history of doing that, and he's done it for some people in Madison Square Garden.
Okay. What?
So I went, what? All right. We do the conversation. Dr. Joe says, hey, why don't we go get something to eat?
Okay. Nice.
And so we went to a Denny's, had a good meal there, had a good conversation. So I said, he's good, he's ready to go, etc. So we then drove to the event symposium, and I basically was his valet. You know, he says, you're my right-hand guy today.
Yes.
You're my right-hand guy. Another thing, too, people may not realize it, he drove from Cleveland up.
Right. Yeah.
I went, what?
4-hour drive.
4 or 5 hours. He drove up. So here's a man that's 81 years old, drove up, and I'm glad he stayed overnight at the hotel, and I've got to follow up with him, and so he could drive home the next morning. He says, yeah, I just drive, put on my audio book, listening. I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. And we ate, he sold a number of books,
Yes,
which is
yes.
fantastic. And even had some people register for his power networking conference.
Yes. We got to do our Canadian delegation down to
Yes.
Atlanta.
Well, in the car, he was saying, when I charge this money in US, how much is it Canadian? I go, add 35 points. It goes, okay. So that's why there may be not some Canadian people. I have to come back to him because we're figuring out what's a good rate to get a Canadian contingent down there.
Gotcha.
Right?
Yes, yes.
We're communicating on that. So Dr. George was great. Actually, we closed the place. Myself, yes. Dr. George, Fitness IQ Cam, and what's the lady? Is it Moody? Her name? Who does the entrepreneur stuff? She runs entrepreneur events. You had mentioned her name earlier.
Oh boy.
I can't.
Fitness IQ was there.
Nikki.
Oh yes, Nikisha.
So yes. The last 4 people out were Dr. George, myself, Nikki, and Fitness IQ. We were the last people out.
Oh, man.
And he said, you know what? He says, before I get back to the hotel, I need to get something to eat. So what does Dr. George want to get to eat? He says, you got a Popeyes here?
Hey. Sure. Nice.
We went to a Popeyes.
Yes.
He says, you want to say, I don't usually eat this stuff, but I'm not going to say no to you.
Yeah.
And then took him to his hotel. We hugged, took a picture with each other. And and actually I've got something to show.
Okay, cool.
So let's do this because content creators document. Here is a perfect example. All right, everyone can see that?
Yes.
Here we go.
I just spent an incredible day here in Mississauga, right outside of Toronto, picked up from my hotel by Dr. Vibe, who just gives you AAA service every single time. He's a lover of people. He's full of energy. He excites me. I'm full of energy even at my age. And so it was just a memorable, lovable day. We did a nice little recording session while we ate breakfast. And it was just great. So if I'm going to be hosted by someone in any city, I would pray that he has or she has the Mr. Vibe or Dr. Vibe.
There you go.
I love it. Yes.
Yes. So that's why you document things, people, in real time. So I'm going to use that.
Yeah. That's so good.
I'm going to use that big time. Yeah, that was a special. That was many people when they first hear what I love to do, they say, "Oh, well, like what are one of the interviews you've done that has been memorable?" And many of the times I say, "There's so many of them," but that day will stick out in my alleged mind for a long time.
Love that.
And getting those wonderful words of endorsement from the heart of Dr. George Fraser.
So I'm curious, between the conversation you had or the keynote that he gave, anything that stuck out that really resonated with what he said?
Well, there are a number of things that he said in the conversation at Symposium that he said with me. Now, we only had half an hour. He had a little bit longer there. But one thing he didn't talk about, which I'm glad we chatted about, myself, him, was interracial marriage.
Okay. Gotcha.
Right. And he said if things go as they are right now, the large majority of Black marriage will be interracial by 2050.
Hey, whoa.
A large the amounts of interracial marriages happening with one partner being Black or African is increasing. And you also take a look at the impact of divorce in the Black environment. Yeah, so he did not talk about that from the podium. He did with myself.
God, yeah, okay. It's a hot topic, and especially that's the trend that is now.
Well, especially with that show, Pop, is it Pop the Balloon or whatever it is? Dr. Tatch and I talked about it a little bit at the warm up on Friday when she was on Friday with me. But okay, let's catch up on some topics. The food plane says, great stuff last night. Thank you so much. You helped make it. He also says, hello, Houston. So Dr. Tachi's posse is invading. All right. GR Houston Jack says, morning, Dr. Tachi in the food plane. Food plane has a emoji glass. The Macmillan Group. Dr. Fraser is a special kind of human being. To be in his presence is the privilege. And one of the things I wanted to do by intention was have Ray and his son, Stefan, sit with Dr. George. So they had a few minutes of conversation. I really wanted to have that happen. I know if Wayne Harris could have made it, but he was opening up his new organization's office. He couldn't make it, but
I saw the ribbon cutting. Congrats,
yes.
Wayne Harris.
Next year, I want a power session. I actually want to take a room at Sheridan College. If I have to pay, just myself. Could you imagine this room? Dr. George, Ray McMillan, Wayne Harris, Roger Dundas, and myself in a room for an hour.
Oh, that'd be solid. That'd be
record that
to watch.
Record that. Just record that session would be out of bounds. All right, let's continue on with the session. Yes, we don't need that. Carolyn. I can't remember what the Carolyn is. And then how wonderful is that? It was wonderful. And the food plane, that crunch on a Popeye's chicken.
Yes.
I haven't eaten Popeye. You know what? It's probably one of the first or seconds I've had Popeye's chicken, though I'll tell you, and I told this to Dr. Fraser, you know, one of the hottest products in Montego Bay, Jamaica, Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Okay.
I'm telling you, because I think it's they have their chickens either grain fed or something. It's different than the chickens in North America. When you go to Kentucky Fried Chicken, is lineups from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night. You are waiting minimum 20 to 25 minutes minimum.
Okay, it's like that. What?
So if people want to make some money in Jamaica, if you can afford to open up a Kentucky Fried Chicken franchise in Montego Bay, you're printing money. Okay, if the food plane says, I'm curious, how did you come up with that, Dr. White? Another time. We will get to that another time. C Nurse K, if I'm 81, can function independently and look like Dr. Fraser, give me my Popeyes.
Hey, 100%. And that was one of because he had 7 currencies to life.
Did you recorded all that?
Yes. So I recorded parts, so I have to put it together. But I'll send you the clips.
Yeah. Well, you know what? If we have to do it, if you have to do it again, like next year, use my lapel microphone because you're depending on the audio from the speaker. Could have given a lapel microphone and we could have just went to town. But you know what? Yeah. And if you want, send it to me and see if I can do anything with the audio enhancement.
Okay,
with,
cool.
With that. Okay. JG Mar says, that's what worries the right wing so much. Maybe we've passed by what we said about that. All right. Dr. Tati, you may put that give a little bit more context to that because we probably don't remember. Dr. Jack says the food plane, JR Houston Jack. Hey, friends, thank you. Fitness IQ goes, no, pop the balloon and interracial relations don't go together, really. That's another conversation. And then Fitness IQ says, KFC in Jamaica is amazing. So you've had it there. You've had the KFC in Jamaica, you have? Okay. All right. Yeah, it is. It's a whole different vibe. And again, I don't eat KFC up here.
Right.
But I'll eat it in Jamaica.
Absolutely.
Go figure.
And
yeah,
my apologies, I have to jump at 10. But I did want to say again, thank you to yourself. Thank you to those that were able to attend the symposium. And thank you, Charmaine Hussey knocked it out the park, making sure that I realized like how talented my team is.
Yes.
I just said, you know what? Don't let me interfere. Do what you need to do to get it done. And it was the best symposium that we've had. So I'm looking forward to more events that we can get entrepreneurs together.
And
also,
thank you to Sheridan College.
100%. And it's become tradition that we hold it at Sheridan. So looking forward to next year as well.
All right, man.
Thanks,
Gone.
everyone.
See ya. We'll see you on Friday with Mr. Wayne Harris.
Sweet.
All right. Take care. All right, family. We still got some time to hang out. We have a free for all here. So are there any things, people? Oh, I've missed some comments. Okay. Fitness IQ Cam says, I'm doing that to the couple you mentioned. I don't know if, again, sometimes I'll miss a comment, so give me some context. Then also, Wayne Harris, the Black Brain Trust, I'm down. Our office's opening was lit. Good. Over 250 people came through. Congratulations. Congratulations. I would have been there. Okay. You know what's, I just noticed I have the wrong show in the description. I had no one told me about it. Come on, producers, correct me up here. Let me just change that on the fly. Yeah, it's the morning vibe. Last night was Black Men Can Talk. Let me get this right. Correctamundo. All right, let's do that. Okay, that's better. And then also, LOL and me tripod. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, Saturday was great. I know it was great for Wayne Harris's team launching their office. That was amazing. Okay. Roger Dundas, good morning. Been listening. Heard my name twice. LOL. Yes, your name doesn't go far from my mouth, Mr. Dundas, and your amazing family. Food Plane, since it's a free for all now, can you answer how you came up with the name Dr. Vibe? Okay. Unless there's something else people want to chat about. So put it in the comment section if you want to chat about something. I will also, just for one more time, put up the destination screen. Okay. Actually, we've got who's watching from? Someone's actually watching either, it looks like from Lisbon, from Spain. We got a number of people in the southern part of the United States. We got some people in Ontario. It's also New York. Fabulous. But look at this. Fatima, Portugal. I know who that is. I know who that is who's watching. I know who that is. So there you go, families. All right, we're going to shut that down. Any other? And just, since Roger's here, get ready for Restaurant Week. Buy blocks. Restaurant Week is coming up in May. You think it isn't a long way away? It's coming fast. And we're going to have, the week before Restaurant Week, we're going to have a number of Black/African Canadian restaurants sharing their story. Oh, gosh. All right, we've missed some comments here. Got to catch up here. So, Dr. Tati says the original Popeyes in New Orleans is actually quite tasty. JR Houston Jack goes, what? For some fried chicken? Yeah, that's Dr. George. And then Dr. Jack says, do Jamaicans actually need the International House of Salty Chicken there? Roger, you want to come back with that? You want to come back with that one? Okay. Let's catch up with some other comments. All right. Let's see some other things here. JR Houston Jack says, I love seeing where other folks are watching. That's cool. Well, JR Houston Jack, reach out to me and I can tell you how you can set that up. Actually, the software that does it, they actually have a free plan that you can use, and you can get a lot of these things for free. Food Plane says it's great to hear that Restaurant Week happens in other countries. Absolutely. Roger Dundas says Restaurant Week happens in almost every country. There you go. JR Houston Jack says, sweet, thank you. Yeah, it's a great software. Actually, I'm going to use another aspect of it. before the show ends today. All right, what other topics do you guys want to chat about today? What other topics are on the agenda? I don't, I could talk, Food Plane wants to know about how I got the Dr. Vibe name, and I'll certainly share that in a moment, but I'd rather have all of you drive the conversation. Wayne Harris says KFC in Jamaica is a minimum 1 hour. Yes, I was being conservative. Minimum 1 hour wait time. Okay, Fitness IQ Cam is now ordering me because she likes to run things. Hi, hello, answer the question. All right. The origin, how did Dr. Vibe come into place? Many years ago, and I've said this on other conversations. I think I actually said it on Ron Foster's conversation on his program last week. When I had hair, I used to work at Adidas Canada. In fact, I was their second Black Canadian hire in their office in history. At the same time, I was a marketing rep for Universal Music. For many people who I shared this with at the time, that you've got the ideal job. You're working at Adidas Canada during the day, and part-time I was doing marketing stuff for Universal Music. Actually, I was either the first or second marketing rep who was Black that was hired by a major label in Canada. I was one of the first 5. That's for sure. That's a whole other story. 1 year at Adidas, I was actually their inside sales rep for soccer accounts at Adidas Canada. That's when they were sort of located in the GTA, and then they moved further north to Vaughan. Another story altogether. Adidas having a Christmas party, and the music was popping. It was popping, and I was getting into the music, and there was a footwear manager named Stuart Smith. Yes, I remember his name to this day. I should actually look him up on LinkedIn and thank him for this. He said he saw me getting into the music, and he says, "You got the vibe. You're Dr. Vibe." Bam. That's how I got the Dr. Vibe. So Roger Dundas says KFC in Jamaica is a cult. Yes, it is. It is a serious cult. Like I'm saying, if you've got deep pockets and you want to open up something in Jamaica that will be printing you money, hello, you're good. JJ Mar says, I sure you got free sneakers while working at Adidas. Absolutely. Got free stuff. Also, employees, anything we wanted to buy from the catalog was cost less 25%. So it was like dirt cheap. It was a great gig until they moved their distribution offices and said, well, you have a choice. You can either move to our Montreal office or take a payout. And the funny thing is, a few months before I was elected the Employee of the Year. I still have the statue in my room. Employee of the Year, and they couldn't keep me in the Toronto office. Go figure. Hello. Food Plane says there are 195 countries and only 15 to 20 countries participate. Oh, in Restaurant Week. Whoa, that's interesting. There you go. Oh, for the foodies, and people know I'm a huge foodie. One of my favorite shows is Top Chef. So the American Top Chef, because there's Top Chef in other countries. The newest season is about 3 episodes in. It was filmed in Toronto. So it's called Top Chef Destination Canada. And really love the series. Really, I'm a little bit of a, yes. Yeah, Foodman says, yes, they are in Toronto. Absolutely. Food Plane, are you happy you got the Dr. Vibe story? And that has stuck for years and years and years. So whenever I go to events and they ask you to put your name on your name tag, I put Dr. Vibe. So either people are going to say, hey, what's going on with that? It's a great icebreaker, or they're going to go, Dr. Vibe, no problem. All right, Dr. Tachi says, it would seem that in many countries, cooking at home is more of a thing than eating at a restaurant. Interesting. Roger Dundas has been to over 300 Black-owned restaurants in Canada. I'd love Roger to chime in on that if he's available. Food Plane says, thank you. Top Chef has been around for many years. Yeah, it has been. So Food Plane, let me ask you, do you like Christian as a host or do you miss Padma? Or do you like both? I'm now into the new hosts. The first year was but I'm liking the new host. But I still do miss Padma. Okay. What else do people want to share about today? You got your Dr. Vibe story. What else is going on? Oh, so Food Plane, thank you. Says, I watch your show because I love your vibes. Appreciate that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Food Plane says, Padma is special. However, I like the new crew. Yeah. Yeah, Padma is very special. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That is great. Good stuff. How was everyone's weekend? Ryan told you about his. I told you about mine. Well, how was the weekend? Also, another question for everyone. Are you liking the interactive engagement stuff? Do you like seeing the country stuff? The question stuff we do, the polls. Are you digging that? Would love to have some feedback. As I said, I spoke to the software company actually a week ago today, and I gave some feedback. A number of you had told me the print needs to be larger, so they're working on that. They got some other things going down. Okay, Shirley says yes of OFC. Yes, of course. Of course. All right. What else is going on, family? Again, coming up on Friday's show. And I'm going to see if we can invite another host. We have coming up on Friday. Wayne Harris will be talking about still having to talk about the Canadian federal election. We have to. Interest rates, debt, investing, home buying, car buying, etc. So that's what's coming up on Friday. And then on the following Monday, Karen and Nicole will be with us. Fitness IQ Saturday says Saturday was so wonderful, spell check, but to rest all day Sunday, golly, yeah. Sunday was I was tired on Saturday, and I had to be on an online conversation with about 25 people from around the world, 8 o'clock that next morning. I was tired, and that lasted 2.5 hours. So it was tired. So Fitness IQ corrects herself and says, wonderful. Yes, I know what you meant. Roger Dundas says, Top Chef Season 22 is Destination Canada. Yeah, we mentioned that, but absolutely. And Fitness IQ says, wowzers. Yeah, I was tired yesterday afternoon. And I'm glad I had a little bit of a break to relax. And I had to do a show last night at 8 o'clock, but I needed that relaxation. That's why I'm not doing too much this week. The last few weeks have been a lot of go, pulling it back a little bit for the first few days of the week. Plus, I had to pick my parents up from the airport. It was on Wednesday. So that was crazy. A lot to go on last week. A lot going on last week. But yeah, Dr. Tachi says, I really like the interactive engagement. Yesterday, I went to a Brazilian spot for lunch. Beautiful covered outdoor place that was a former gas station. What? I had a fantastic blue pea flower chai. What? I haven't had chai in so long. It's very high in sugar, though. But that sounds so nice. So nice. Excellent. Glad you had a good Sunday. Yeah. Weather here in Toronto has just been rain, but it's warmer, rainy, but now the temperature is going to drop. Yes. So JR Houston Jack says, oh, Food Plane goes, well, Dr. Tachi. She's living the good life. By the way, Dr. Tachi, I love your glasses. The glasses you wear when you're in the car, they are so on point. And JR Houston Jack says, OMG, Dr. Tachi. There we go. But yeah, it was, I'm still Just staying low key for the first 3 days of it. Plus, I got a lot of content to do, and I've been really digging in. Oh, Dr. Jack says it was so good. It was so good. And I've been really digging into some AI software. Really digging in. Like I spent like an hour and a half last night trying about 15 different AI software. Speaking of which, does anyone have, oh, you know what? I'm going to run a quick poll. I just thought about it. Okay, let's see if I can run this really quick. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to do it this way. Okay, I just thought about this. Yeah, this is where, so I'm just going to show you this software again. I'm going to be asking a question, and this is for people who are watching on the YouTube, Dr. Vibe YouTube channel. And short answers you can list. We're doing it right now. Okay, let's move forward here. All right, and you can put down 3 or 4 answers, like put down an answer for each one. So here's an interactive question, right quick. All right, here we go. So if you are watching the Dr. Vibe show on YouTube, here's the question. What are some of your favorite AI tools? So you can put down 2 or 3 of them, but just separate each one by a comma. What are some of your favorite AI tools? Be very curious. Now, yeah, AI is crazy. Yes, it is. Food Plane says AI is crazy. Fitness IQ goes, which ones? Aha. And also Food Plane says AI is crazy. Food Plane says it's amazing where technology is. I agree, the Food Plane. All right. I'm going to show our little screen. Oh, you should be able to see it right now. So Shirley says DeepSeek. Fitness IQ Ken goes Chat GPT. Food Plane, Chat GPT. What are some of, and I think you can answer more than one. So if you have any more, you can put them in. All right. Oh, JR First Jack. I hadn't heard of First Draft. Oh, JR Houston Jack, Cast Magic. Yes. Also says First Draft Ninja. Dr. Tachi, Chat GPT, Sora, Gemini. All right. Cast Magic. Yeah, you know what? I need to know about Cast Magic. Okay, Fitness IQ Cam will get an explanation because that's the only thing challenge about this software. It'll pick up anything that's put into the YouTube chat. But Cast Magic, and I think I've mentioned this content creator's name, Tanya Smith. She just did a really dope YouTube session about Cast Magic. I think she's actually offering a course. Okay, Grammarly. I haven't used that for a long time. Is there still a decent free version of that? Because I had heard that they changed the free version of that. Okay, we got other things going down. What are those? See, what are those tools? Maybe we're going to have to, maybe, you know what we should probably, there will likely come a day where we can purchase a robot buddy, a robot to keep you company. It can talk and answer chat like that. Okay. All right. Actually, there was a new one that I've just been introduced to that's a China, I can't remember the name. It's based in China, which I'm a little bit leery about. But I've had good recommendation about it. JR Houston Jack, we need to have you on the show because it seems that you are all in with this AI. Pickaxe. I'm sure some of these people are watching live on the replay you've never heard of before. All right. So a whole pile of, yeah, I have a list right now. I just got a new good list of about 10 to 15 of them. Should I give away one of the good ones that's out there? some of you may know it, some of you may not. Do you want Dr. Vibe to give a little take on one of his favorite ones right now? It's getting harder to tell what's real and what's AI. 100%. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I agree. So I've shut down. So look, thanks everyone. There's Firefly, Copilot. All right, you're still doing stuff. Okay. Love it. Okay, I'll put it back up because obviously people are still contributing. There's been some additions. All right. So here's an update on what's going down. And J.R. Houston just says, I do love Copilot. All right. Okay. I'm going to shut the interactive down now, but thank you everyone for your interaction. 100% love it. Okay. We go down. All right. J.R. Houston, Jack, you are on fire with AI. Does anyone want one that I suggest? Anyone want me to suggest one that you may or may not know about? Oh, gee, yes. Great image. So are you saying that Copilot is a great image generator, Dr. Tachi? I haven't tried it for that. Is it good? If it's good, I actually, you know what? I'm going to pull up my notebook right now. I'm going to go over my notes. Okay, so it is a good image generator. Good. Oh, I'm always open for new tech. Fitness IQ says yes. Dr. Tachi says yes. Okay, let me I'll go over it after the show's done. I'm going to write down all of these, and I'm going to do a little testing myself over the next 2 days. All right. Yes, I get good images from Copilot, Dr. Tachi says. I get good images from Copilot. All right. J.R. Houston Jack, Dr. Tachi, I create my phone wallpapers with Copilot. All right. I respect both those content creators. So you know what Dr. Vibe's doing? He is writing down to do some testing of Copilot for image creation. And Dr. Tachi says, J.R. Houston Jack, that's an excellent use case. Copilot image generation. Is it free, the Copilot image generation? It probably is. Probably is. Okay. Yes, it's free. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Yes, it's free. Great. All right. There's one I haven't seen mentioned yet via Dr. Tachi, via J.R. Houston Jack, and anybody, and Fitness IQ Cam. And I think she knows about this one. I'm sure. I know Dr. Tachi does, but I didn't see anyone mention it. All right. One of the AI tools I love is Notebook LM. Who has heard about Notebook LM and who's used Notebook LM? It's a Google product. Has anyone used it? Fitness IQ goes, okay. Wayne Harris has never heard of it. J.R. Houston Jack says, I've heard of Notebook LM, but never used it. Heard, haven't used it yet. Okay. Should we do a live demo? Would you guys like me to do a live demo of Notebook LM? Tell me in the chat. Let me just see if I can note. I don't want to keep you family too long. Dr. Chester says, yes, from Google. Yes. Okay. All right. So Wayne Harris is saying do it. So if one of my board of directors is suggesting something, let's make it happen. Okay. Let's go create. Okay. Create new. All right. Okay. Let's share screen here. When you go into Notebook LM, I've created some previous ones. I'm not going to show you. Let's Chrome tab Notebook LM. All right. Can you see that? So sources let Notebook LM bases responses on the information that matters to you. All right. So you can upload documents from your Google Docs, Google Slides. You can give a website link, YouTube link, and put in copied text. Let's see. Choose a file. Okay, I'm going to put up a website. So I'm going to put up, there was a gentleman on a week ago from today, Craig Switson from Raymond James. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put, he has done a series of conversations with nonprofit leaders asking their best insights on not for profit. So YouTube. Let's see what it comes up with. I haven't done, let me just see if it's going to do it here. Config, paste the YouTube. Okay, you know what? Let me put this. Why don't I just put the Dr. Vibe Show? Make it easy. Why is it not? Oh, paste the YouTube URL. Okay, I think what it's looking for is for me to put a link, an actual YouTube show link in there. So just bear with me a second and I will put in a link and see what it says. So sorry for the delay. There. Okay, let's do this. All right, link. We're doing this on the fly, so bear with me, family. Okay, good. Okay. So you see what it's done. I put in the link from a recent version, a recent episode of Primetime Saturday, and it gives you a transcript. You get an automatic transcript. So it summarizes. It's about an hour and 30-minute conversation. It gives you a summary. What do you think about that? So there's show notes for you automatically. Done. So if I wanted to do a summary of the show, bang, I can do it. Very cool. Yes. Now, you want to take it to another level. It can create like an audio podcast. You're going to hear a summary of the show with two guests, audio wise. Excuse me. Run the URL of the Trump-Biden debate. Yeah, that I'd have to dig on that. If you're willing to hold on, I could see what it said of that, but I want to show you this feature of it. And this is free. This is free. What Notebook LM is doing right now is it's going through the transcript or going through the video, and what it's going to do is create a audio summary between two voices of the conversation. It's going to take a little bit of time, so hang with me because it's an hour and 20-minute conversation, so it may take a little bit of time. What I'll do is when it comes back up, I will bring it back up. What do you think? And that's just high level use of it, but it's a great tool. It is an absolutely great tool. J.R. Houston Jack goes, interesting. I thought you would have known about that one. Let me just, does it? Okay, let me just see if it's created the, yeah, it's going to take a few minutes. No need to stick around. I should have picked a shorter piece of video, but right now I'm trying to hang on as long as possible to see it will create that dialogue. Great tool. Great tool. Absolutely. That is one that I use a lot. And that summary is amazing. Absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. Goes through all the audio. Nice little tight little summary. JR Houston Jack, I admit I don't use a lot of Google products beside YouTube, of course. Yeah. Wayne Harris says, got to bounce. Enjoy the rest of your week. See you all on Friday. Right back at you, Wayne. Big time. Big time. And that's another thing. So individuals, so this is one of the things I can maybe offer now. Individuals like Wayne, Carol Nicole, Minnie on camera, Ray. I say, hey, here's the URL to your show. Go into Notebook LM. You get a summary, put it on your whatever platforms, and put the link for the replay. Bang, bang. It's a great win. But Notebook LM. Okay, it's too bad, Wayne, you left. It's okay. So this is what you can also get an audio overview. Listen to this. All right. So you heard a bit of that. So it provides that audio summary. So I'll just share my screen again quickly because I didn't realize you didn't see it. All right. As you can see, top right-hand corner, there's an audio button. So it took some time to compile, and I'll play a little bit of more.
Disingenuous and literally impossible. It definitely makes you wonder, what are these so-called core functions that they supposedly want to retain?
Right. Well, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
The information we have lays out quite a list of what the Department of Education actually does.
Ugh.
Things many people might not even fully realize.
Mhm.
We're talking about the school lunch program, for instance.
Right.
And importantly, the department's role in determining which schools qualify as Title I.
Right.
That designation isn't coming from the USDA, even though they provide the food.
Right.
So you know what this really highlights for you is the sheer breadth of the department's influence.
Yeah.
Touching nearly every aspect of education from.
All right. There you go. There you go. There was no sound. Now there was, okay. Sorry about that. Incredible. Yeah. My apology that there was no sound at the beginning. What do you think? Dr. Tachi says incredible. JR Houston Jack goes, emojis. I want different races' voices. Got you. Got you. Well, with Google's rollback of diversity and inclusion, equity inclusion in initiatives, you may not get that. So that means there's opportunity for someone to create something like this with cultural voices. Dr. Tachi says fitness IQ, Cam, absolutely different dialects. There you go. Fitness IQ, Cam says, tried, I think you're saying tired of what only white voices. Okay. You know, it would be really cool if Google could do this with their LM, put the voices of the participants, well, you know, they'd have to record it or put it there, use their voice tone in that, but it obviously that's a whole other conversation piece. Okay. That is Notebook LM. For those who haven't seen it or heard about it, definitely check it out. There is definitely enough YouTube videos about it. Fool around with it. It can be a game changer. You know, you could have a transcript of something, and it create those two voices. It creates a summary for you. Bang, right there. So just type Notebook LM in your favorite browser space, enter, and fool around with it, and also just check it out. All right, we're done for today. As always, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. We're at 17. We're over. You know what? I gotta look. I was saying at the beginning, I said we're at 1750. Yes, we're over 1750 subscribers. We want to hit 1760. So if you haven't yet and you are up to it, please subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also, like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, and Instagram. Also, join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Please feel free to email me, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms that I'm on. Again, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Coming up on this Friday's show, we have Wayne Harris, who'll still have to talk about the Canadian federal election. Yes, interest rates, debt, investing, home buying, and car buying. If you want to get a hold of Ryan Oneil Knight.com. That's with a KN, not an N. LinkedIn, Ryan Oneil Knight. Instagram, at Ryan.Knight99. Myself, the drvibeshow.com. YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, The Dr. Vibe Show. Instagram at the drvibeshow. And then X at drvibeshow. Email dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. And also Blue Sky at drvibe.sky.social. You can watch replays of the Morning Vibe on the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn. You can also watch it at the Afro Caribbean Business Network on Facebook and Ryan Oneil Knight on YouTube. Okay, we got two more comments. J.R. Houston Jack says there are possibilities there for sure. Yep. And also clap emoji. Thank you, J.R. Houston Jack. Thank you for your support. All of your support live on the replay. It's appreciated and not taken for granted. Okay, as we close out, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time. Manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Try to do both. And as always, make it better. God bless. Peace be well. Keep the faith and walk good.
This whole thing of using your business with plant-based products, don't you think your life should reflect that too?
Juke him, Carolyn. Juke him. The family loves us here because they're saying Fitness IQ Can says put a wig on to get in.
Oh my gosh.
Like the ideas are just coming fast and furious here this morning. What? Okay, look at this. Global Women Ambassador. Good morning. Look forward. Okay.